Hello. Hello, I'm Randy, the cheap audio man. This is my third video. And I have a fancy camera and a fancy microphone, so hopefully it looks and sounds better. So today I'm going to compare two integrated amps. I know I said on my last video that I was going to do the SMSL M300 Mark II DAC review, which is coming for sure. But I had an opportunity to pick up this big, beautiful thing. It's a Anthem Integrated 225. Not available anymore. But we'll get to alternative for that. Comparing it to the Moon by Simaudio 240i integrated amp. How these are similar. They're both Canadian, which is kind of cool. They're both integrated amps. How they're different. This one has a DAC. It has 2 opticals, 2 coax, 1 USB. This has no DAC, so it has no opticals, no coax, no USB. This one has balanced inputs for one selection. This one does not have balanced inputs. This one is 225 watts into 8 ohms. This one's 50 watts. 310 watts into 4 ohms. It's like 75 watts into 4 ohms. Now, with that said, you can do the math to figure out how much power you need. So if you go, first of all, you need to get on your phone and download an SPL meter. Then you sit in your favorite spot, turn up your system to the volume that you generally enjoy music at. Then you take a look, and it's going to bounce all over the place, but you should be able to see about a ballpark of SPL that you like to listen to. For me, it's 75 to 80 dB, sometimes just a titch higher, but that's what I enjoy. And then you take that and you put that into a calculator. Calculator is based on SPL, and then it's based on how many speakers you have. But the main part is based on the sensitivity rating of the speaker. So if you have like Eclipse, which you have like a 98 dB sensitivity, it takes a lot less power than an ELAC, which takes which is 85 dB sensitivity. So anyway, the bottom line is, generally speaking, to get like 75, 80 dB, it's not that much power. It's just like, I'm talking like 5 watts, maybe even less sometimes, 10 watts. So the point is, like 75 watts compared to 225, or 50 watts compared to 225 watts doesn't sound, well, it sounds like a big difference. 50 watts maybe doesn't sound like a lot, but actually can play quite loud. Now, these two companies are both in Canada, like I said, but they're kind of a lot different. And if you just go to their website, you can kind of tell that they're a lot different. I would say Moon by Simaudio is obviously trying to attract a fancier crowd. Their website's very nice. It's very pretty, just like their products. Some coffee. Just go look at their websites. It's obvious. You'll be able to tell in about 3 seconds. So getting into the sound. At lower volumes, this sounds, I'd say, more refined, more dignified. At higher volumes, and I'm talking about, I'm talking about like listening volumes. So about 75, below 75 dB, more dignified. Below 75 dB, slightly bright. However, tone controls, so you can not have it slightly bright. No tone controls. Above 75 dB, start to kind of get jumbled up. What do I say when I jumbled up? When I say jumbled up, instruments kind of start to meld together, and you can't really tell the separation as well. You can hear everything. I had one of those moments where I know I love a product. The other night I was listening to Metallica S&M 2, highly recommended, and like I literally started to get emotional. It was during One, which quite a popular Metallica song, and it's a part where they're playing the chimes, and like I was there, I could hear it, I was in the music. The speakers had disappeared, I could see the chimes being hit and the drums, and I could see every instrument. I could hear every instrument. My mind could see it. Had that with this. Did not have it with this. Actually, I didn't really care for this sound unless I was close up and unless it was under about 75 dB. Also, I had a interesting back and forth with Moon Audio support because I was having some clicking and popping issues with the USB connection. And the tech guy person, his name was Eric, so I'm assuming it was a guy. I'm sorry, Eric. Was pretty helpful. Kind of helpful. But the thing that kind of turned me off about the whole deal is basically the solution was to use JRiver or Audiovana or something like that. He did talk about so I use Amazon HD streaming. He did suggest I put that in exclusive mode, which I did, and it I think fixed the problem. But the thing that turned me off is the way that he said how sensitive their DAC is and how I need to listen to audiophile platforms such as JRiver, Audiovana, Fubar, things like that, which is fine. I get that. It's just the kind of the way that he, I don't know, implied that my pedestrian choice in musical streaming services just isn't going to work with their high performance audiophile equipment. But the thing that I found ironic is when I took my computer to the SMSL, ran it into here, no popping. When I ran USB directly into here, popping. So the SMSL can actually play 32-bit up to 786, I think, and this is limited to 32-bit 356. Anyway, that DAC is capable of playing at higher resolutions. So, if I'm being honest, that DAC's more sensitive. I just didn't like the vibe I got from them. So, I'd say this is kind of like a dignified Canadian businessman driving a BMW. This is like a drunken Canadian sailor on leave that stole a, I don't know, bulldozer. It sounds awesome. This sounds, it's got punch in the bass. It's got that, it's got strong mid-range, a tad bit bright at lower volumes than the Moon. Again though, tone controls. But when it comes up to about 75 dB and beyond, it sounds very well balanced. It sounds powerful, punchy. Music is separated, good imaging, good sound staging. So that all sounds great, right? Until you go and try to buy this and you notice that it's not around. I will say when this was discontinued, this is going for about $2,000. This is still available at $2,500. However, there is one kind of saving grace here. You can get a power amplifier that is identical to this. It's the Anthem 225. They're $2,000, and that's very expensive. I will say, however, this is the first piece of decent audio gear that I've ever purchased and I didn't pay $2,000 for, that I ever purchased that's actually worth the money. The Moon Audio is not worth $2,500. It is not worth $1,500. I don't think it's worth $1,000. Maybe $700-800. As you can tell, I'm not super impressed with the Moon on it. Even the DAC, I like the SMSL DAC better because number one, you have a lot of different options to choose from. Number two, I A/B'd them, and there's hardly any difference. And the difference that I could hear, I actually like the SMSL better. I'm not saying that this is bad at all. It's very nice. It's very good. It's very clear. It's very well behaved. But it's not for me. This one, they're like, if you listen to like AC/DC Hell's Bells, like when the guitar comes in, it's almost like crack with the guitar. This doesn't give that to me. This does. This is visceral. Puts you in the music. This is a very nice photo of the music that you get to put on your wall. This throws you into the frickin' mosh pit. Yeah, it's pretty good. Anyway, my daughter's coming in. Thanks.